Greetings, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thank you for logging on. Today, as we continue our journey through the FP Journe catalog, we discuss the FP Journe Elegante 40 Titanium with one row of diamonds amounting to approximately 0.5 carats, 38 brilliant cut diamonds atop a titanium case with an ergonomic curve, flush rubber inserts, and sporting potential thanks to a full clasp rubber strap, and a swimmable screw-down crown. This is a timepiece for all occasions, elegant and wearable. Fit is fundamental, and actually I don't have the worst wrist in the world to model this timepiece. My wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference, will afford ourselves a bit more light, a bit more focus, and get a sense of how the timepiece fits. It is both slim and trim, you'll note. 40 millimeters from lug to lug is the absolute dimension. The timepiece wonderfully slim at only 7.3 millimeters thick, and from side to side, a reasonable 35 millimeters. It has the impression on the wrist of a 40 millimeter round watch. So despite fitting quite compact, and you can see my 16 centimeter wrist gives excellent scale, this is a watch that nevertheless has a larger stance and presence than its outward dimensions would suggest. Now the timepiece is also quite light. In grade 5 titanium with full rubber strap and matching clasp, the ergonomics are superb, and titanium being hypoallergenic and fitted with a sapphire caseback in this instance, it is feather light as well as non-reactive on those who may have nickel allergies. You will note the strap swells to match the curvature of the case lugs, so there's a highly integrated aesthetic about the junction of strap and case, one flowing seamlessly into the other with no daylight between strap and case band. The strap is beautifully made with the FP Journe interlocking logo on the bottom. The evacuation of material makes this already supple strap more so. It also creates a little bit of an air pocket to aerate the wrist on a hot day. You will note that the strap fixed in place with pull tab spring bars. You can remove the strap using only your fingernail with no resort to strap tools or a watchmaker, which is excellent because FP Journe offers a bewildering array of strap accessories for this watch, and you can swap without resort to tools. Now the clasp is titanium to match the watch. You will see FP Journe makes a full titanium clasp for a full titanium watch because the idea is that this is more of an active lifestyle timepiece, so you want more security than would come with a conventional pin buckle. Moreover, the case of the watch featuring a handsome contrast between the titanium aspects, the diamonds, and the rubber inserts. The rubber inserts allowing the case of the watch to perfectly match the tone and texture of the strap. Moving around, you can see that there are elements of the case in high polish perfectly flanking the channeling of the diamonds adding a richness as well as a different tone, texture, and refractive index than the polished titanium on the crown side, and it is a screw-down crown, the classic double divot knurled FP Journe crown that you'll recognize from innumerable watches dating back to the first FP Journe Tourbillon Remontoir. And of course, a screw-down crown. The watch is rated to 30 meters water resistant, but I have it on account from FP Journe that it is tested to 50 meters, and thus with a screw-down crown and no natural leather occurring on the watch, this is a swimmable all-purpose sports watch. The dial, like the case, like the crown, like the movement, featuring hallmarks of FP Journe that have been continuous since the beginning. The biomorphic tapered hands, they are steel and heat blued to create that characteristic cobalt coloration. The stylized Arabic numerals outboard to represent the hours, a sunken sub-register for sub-seconds with a railroad-style calibrated track and a counterweighted blued seconds hand. You will note that the characteristic Journe bezel or dial bezel bolts, which always create a frame for the time within the outer bezel, so you have an outer bezel and an inner bezel, and you can see that the inner bezel has been comprised of 4 distinct components framing the dial. Now those polished screws pay homage to every FP Journe watch that has come previously, and like the crown, like the design of the hands, like the design of the numerals, characteristic of the Journe manufacturer. Critically, this is a fully loomed dial. Not the indices, not the hands, no. The dial base itself is full superluminova. So you see the hands, you see the marquee, you see the hours in relief at night. There will be a loom shot at the end of the video, stay tuned. The aperture in the dial framing an eccentric mass that serves 2 purposes. First, It pays homage to great FP Journe references of the past, like the original tourbillon remontoir, which featured its remontoir mechanism visible from the dial side, as well as the chronomet optimum in the current collection. But this eccentric mass also brings to life one of the most innovative features of the watch, which is a mass that wakes up the movement from standby mode. And the FP Journe manufacture caliber 1210 has a number of mechanical and electronic refinements. Let's start with the basics. In everyday use, the patented twin rotor motor and battery supply enable the watch to run for 8 to 10 years in daily use. But after 30 minutes, the watch shuts down and goes into a standby mode. The Swiss-made caliber and its microprocessor remembering the time, but deactivating the motor to save energy. And so this happens after 30 minutes, it shuts down. The second you pick up the watch and that eccentric mass starts to move, the system, which remembers the time, quickly resets the hands, turning clockwise or counterclockwise, whichever is shorter to save energy, and resetting the watch to the correct time. Now, if the watch were to just sit on a shelf, or perhaps sit in a collection as it's rotated through a series of watches, it could in theory last up to 18 years on a single battery if not worn, but you would be depriving yourself of the pleasure. This movement is beautifully crafted, 18 jewels, watchmaker manufactured, watchmaker regulated, and watchmaker serviced. It is a lifetime caliber. You'll note that design elements are rich with this one. The heart symbol reminding you that this is not just an object of techie fascination, but an emotional object, a product of a Journe manufacturer that produces high horology calibers and nothing else. Black polished screw heads, 4N rose gold, and you'll note Côte de Genève across the battery cover, richly textured. The cover is also fully engraved. There are also posts. They're small. You'll need a loupe to see them, but their heads have been black polished, and you'll also note that the edge of the cover of the battery features a mirrored anglage. At oblique angles, you start to see the edge glowing and lighting up. A fully hand-finished caliber in the tradition of FP Journe's mechanical movements. It does not disappoint from either a technical or an aesthetic standpoint. And the same caliber is used in both the FP Journe 40 for ladies as well as the FP Journe 48 typically for men. You can see this sophisticated timepiece and learn more about it and the huge array of elegant case, dial, strap, and diamond options on our website, govbergwatches.com. And I return with the FP Journe Elegante 40 in titanium, glowing with diamonds by day, glowing with a fully loomed dial by night, and putting conventional dive watches to shame. A robust sports watch for the active lifestyle. See the Elegante 40 on our website, govbergwatches.com.